You know, it'd be really, really good to say that as we begin this podcasting journey, we're sitting here in some luxurious, amazing surroundings, some studio which is worth about £1.5 million. We've got all the latest technology, all the latest recording equipment, all the latest microphones. Sadly, though, the realness of the situation is that we're sat talking to a microphone which is connected to a tiny little laptop, which took me about 500 years to find, while Vic Reeves' Big Night Out plays.
Silently.
Yeah, and the equipment that we speak of is all standing on a cardboard box.
In a room that doesn't even have a fridge freezer.
Yeah, so the thing is as well, what we've come to the realisation while we're recording this, potentially the doorbell could go several times. We could have people banging on a door which is situated just to my right now, which is like a patio door, and Bec's phone could also be going off. Do you want to just give us a bit of a background as to why we're sat here in a near empty room awaiting loads of visitors while Vic Reeves is on the telly and we're talking into a microphone which is on a cardboard box?
Because it's a pretty standard day in our lives, really. No, I've just moved. So I did a massive online order yesterday, so I thought everything from Amazon would come at once, and clearly it's not, so there's probably about 15 people going to turn up with different items for me today.
Don't you actually go to the shop and buy anything?
No.
I mean, this I can't get my head around this online order thing. And I've just mentioned before about a laptop that took me ages to find. Right, this new laptop which I've bought especially for us to do this new podcast that we're calling Chasing 40, by the way. I was like, you know, the Yellow Pages advert with J.R. Hartley, going around all these shops. Every shop I went in, PC World, several PC Worlds. I'll have that blue one, the blue Lenovo one there. Oh, sorry, sir, we haven't got that in. I'm like, well, you're wondering why the high street's shutting down. You've got nothing in. I mean, the shop was about the size of a football pitch. They didn't have any laptops. So I was just going, I'll have that one. No, that's not there. I'll have that one. No, it's not there. They were forcing me online. So I like going to a shop and buying things. But you've moved into this brand new flat, right? And instead of, you know, going around and getting some bits and bobs from, I'm trying to think, where would you go these days?
Not Burton's.
No.
That's where you go for your shoes.
We'll get onto that a little bit later on. Where would you go, like Homebase and stuff like that, and Argos? Are they still going? Index catalogue shop?
I don't think there's an Index. It's all Amazon. It's all the way forward. Everything is online from one place or another. Even my food shop that came this morning. Not that I've got anywhere to put it. I'm going to hang my chicken on the tree outside to keep it cool.
That's the funny thing on the worktop to my left right now. Look at me, I'm painting the picture here, aren't I? By the end of this podcast, you're going to know exactly what Bec's flat looks like. But there's a load of bags, Sainsbury's bags with loads of food in there. And I said to Bec, oh, the Sainsbury's do deliveries now, do they? They've done it for years.
Welcome to the 21st century, Jeff.
So anyway, yeah. So just to sort of, you know, get it straight, I like going to shops. I like going and buying things and having it handed over. So I'm a champion of the high street. That's what I am. And, you know, they're always crying about these shops closing. No wonder, because everyone just goes online.
I will go to the high street to buy a pie or something, because you can't get them online.
That's what we'll do afterwards. When all the deliveries are finished, me and you are going to go out for a nice pie. Blimey, we are sounding old now. Now we are sounding like two people who are chasing the age of 40. Thing is, actually, talking about technology, I finally got an iPhone. You did just say that.
Yeah.
It's the year 2017. I finally got an iPhone. I say that, and this is the week we've just seen the relaunch of that Nokia 3310, haven't we? I've had Nokia phones since the 90s, right? And the only reason I've switched to an iPhone is because Nokia... This is the funny thing. Nokia goes out of business. You can't buy a Nokia phone. I buy an iPhone. Within 3 weeks, Nokia bring out the new 3310. I'm like, what?
They don't want to be associated with you. That's what it is.
They waited for me. That's what's happened. You're right. Nokia have gone, right, we need to relaunch and to have this new business model and to you know, get ourselves into the 21st century. Are we in the 21st century now? I don't know, just checking.
Yes.
We need to get rid of some of the dead weight, including that tool Nolan. So let's get rid of him. If we can convince him we've gone out of business, we'll relaunch. That's what's happened.
It is.
Those damn Finnish people. No, I should never have trusted them back in the 90s when I started getting these phones.
That's what's happening with the whole high street. That's why it's dying, because you shop there.
It is. It's for me. They're trying to get me out. But yeah, when I was looking at these, you know, the podcasts, when I got this iPhone, you could flick through podcasts, and there's so many out there. I thought, you know what, like I've been asked about it for many, many years. Why don't you do a podcast? I'm going to go for it. But I was thinking, and I'm fascinated, it's like the podcasting world to me now seems like the way people go on these dating sites. Because isn't there one, now you can educate me on this.
How do you know I'm on a dating site, Jeff?
We talked about it beforehand, and she prepped me up on this one.
Shush.
So yeah, with the dating sites, isn't there one where you swipe along?
Yeah.
Is that?
That's Tinder, but a lot of them have that feature now. So I'm told. A friend has reliably informed me.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, it's so shallow, but a picture comes up, tells you how far away they are, and then you go one way for yes and one way for no.
So what happens to that person then when you click yes or you go the right way?
You don't know if they've said no, you don't know if they've already viewed you, but if they've already viewed you and said yes, when you say yes, you get, ta-da! It's a match.
And then you have a conversation and stuff.
Usually that involves, hey, I'm still in bed, want to come round?
So then you can have the full-blown conversation then with them, and there's no more sort of just liking of photos and sweeping from left to right.
Obviously, if you want to talk to more than one person, you can talk to as many as you like, but
It sounds to me a little bit like, you know, when you're ordering food or something like, what was that? That's like Just Eat. But the only thing is where you're flipping along and you go, oh, I'll have that pizza. Although this time, you know, you click the picture of the pepperoni pizza, it's got the potential to snap back and say, no, fatty, you've had too much.
Pretty much, yes.
Madness.
And the other difference is the fact that your pepperoni pizza will look like a pepperoni pizza. Half the pictures on Tinder, they don't look anything like it.
So that's a good way of thinking about it. But I've become fascinated though with seeing all these things, all this technology. I'd say you can swipe through podcasts and pick a podcast, but absolutely anything. On a dating website, you can flip through and go, I like that person. You just like, and you swipe and do your thing to hook up a conversation. I was talking to someone the other day I was having a conversation about the various dating websites out there, and some guy I know was telling me he's on a Jewish dating website.
Really?
So I'm guessing there's basically, for any creed, colour or whatever you want, or there is some sort of niche website for that. And he said the reason we got into this conversation, we weren't just stood there in the street going, what about those dating websites there, lads? He said to me, Jeff, what do you know? You're into your technology, aren't you? Yeah. Don't know me that well, do you?
A really good friend then.
He said, what's this Skype thing? You know, do you trust Skype? I said, well, I've used it from time to time. It's just basically a face-to-face digital conversation, isn't it? And why do you ask? He said, well, I was on this Jewish dating website. He's Jewish, by the way, before you ask. He's not one of those people who puts the wrong picture up, and he's not the real deal. He's genuine Jewish. He says, I was on this Jewish dating website the other day, and I got chatting to this woman, and she was in Israel, and she said, let's Skype, and I was a little bit unsure, whether or not I should do that or not, whether that was the right thing. And I was thinking, well, what would be the right thing? Would it be to not strike up a conversation with her on Skype and have that initial chat with her, just go back and forth with, hey, what you're up to? Yeah. I'm in bed, as we were discussing before, and then just fly out to Israel for a coffee to find out she's a monster and not looking anything like she said she was. He said, I'm unsure, because if I don't strike up a conversation with her on the Jewish dating website, I'm going to speak to someone else who I've met who's also on the Jewish dating website, but she's in Spain. I'm thinking, are there
no Jews, single Jews in Britain?
There mustn't be. So if anyone listens to this right now who's Jewish and single and female, find this website and get on there. And if you see a fella called Dave, just have a chat with him. Save him a bit of cash, because that poor fella's going to spend a fortune either flying out to Tel Aviv or Barcelona. And that's a long way to go for a Costa, isn't it? Let's be honest about it. So, obviously, this week it's quite apt anyway. It's talking about dating and romance with Valentine's Day just passing.
Yeah.
How was Valentine's Day for you? See, it's for me, Valentine's Day, the magic of that is gone, being in a long-term relationship. But what about yourself? Because you're single and you're ready to mingle, aren't you, Beth?
Allegedly
were there any cards coming your way? Or were there...
It was delightful. I was woken up by a message of a mate of mine who we have a bit of a flirty relationship, and he abbreviates everything. And his message said, Happy VD. Which I then pointed out sounded quite wrong.
Was this about him or you? Hopefully it was him. Yeah. If so, I just want to move out the way a little bit. I'll do the rest of the show from the kitchen over here with the Sainsbury's shopping, if that's okay.
Like 3 drawers down, there's some cream in there, you'll be all right.
So beyond that then, was there anything else?
Beyond that, I don't do Valentine's Day at all, but what I did love, I was walking around town, I was in Liverpool, walking around, and I spent about an hour and a half just wandering, pointing, laughing at the men who were traipsing around with sad faces, huge bouquets of flowers and balloons, and you're trying to figure out what they've done wrong by the level of gifts that they're carrying.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much my Valentine's Day, just laughing at other people.
It's like with the old, you see it, I know it's a cliche now, and you see it non-stop on Twitter and Facebook with the petrol stations where people... Every single year you see people leaving it right to the end where they're getting whatever bouquet of flowers they've got left, or it gets to a point, doesn't it, at the end of the day with petrol stations, because they're running out of stuff, where people are buying bags of charcoal and wood to take to the missus. There you go. It's the thought that counts. Yeah, but it's a bag of wood. It's the thought that counts. My Valentine's Day was dominated by, of all people, Michael Bolton. Now, I don't know if you saw this on Netflix.
I've seen a bit of it.
You've seen a little clip of it. honestly, that is one of the funniest things. Because when I first heard about this, if you've not heard it, by the way, or you've not heard about it, you can press the pause button. That's what's great about podcasts. You can pause it now, go onto YouTube or go on Google and just type in Michael Bolton's Big Sexy Valentine's Day Special.
It's just wrong in itself.
Yeah, well, I saw this on Twitter. Someone saying, I can't wait for Michael Bolton's Big Sexy Valentine's Day Special. And I just thought, that's someone having a laugh. Like, they're going to... That's the theme for their night.
Yeah.
They're going to get the girlfriend round, they're going to cook some food, and they're going to lob on the Soul Provider album from 1993. And let Bolton weave his magic when it comes to their relationship. But no, what's happened is Michael Bolton teamed up with the guys from Lonely Planet. I don't know if you remember a few years ago, there was a video doing the rounds of him singing about Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yes.
So it's the guys behind that who basically got back together with Michael Bolton and said, look, we've got this idea for a comedy special. The premise of it is Michael Bolton, and it is the original Michael Bolton, by the way. It's not someone playing Michael Bolton.
That's what I can't get over. It's really him.
So Michael Bolton is a guy who loves Valentine's Day, and the reason he loves Valentine's Day is not because he's a love god who's sung about love his whole career. It's because it's 10 months away from Christmas, and that's his favourite time of the year. So when he gets to Valentine's Day, he starts singing about Christmas and thinking about Christmas. What we don't know, though, is Michael Bolton is a big friend of Father Christmas. That's how much he loves Christmas.
I'm so jealous.
Father Christmas this year has had some problems because his elves have got to work a little too soon and made too many toys. 75,000 extra toys. So what Santa Claus says to Michael Bolton is, Michael, I need you to help me out. We've got all these extra toys. The elves have gone a bit crazy. Michael Bolton at one stage, by the way, threatens to kill the elves, which is spectacular to see. I need you to go out and do a telethon or do something so we have a big baby boom and more children are born and they'll be able to take up all these toys. So Michael Bolton goes, well, how many? He says 75,000. So Michael Bolton puts together a telethon, which is encouraging people to get it on, shall we say. While this is happening, while these songs and while these various things are playing out, there's a little total on the scoreboard with how many babies are being born. Wow. But there's loads of celebrities, there's loads of big sort of comedians from the States like Sarah Silverman who get involved in it as well. There's also a plot to kill Michael Bolton because what happened is throughout the course of this, people are breaking mattresses because they're obviously getting it on, as they say. So a bloke who owns a mattress factory decides he's had enough, he's getting put out of business because all the lifetime guarantees for these mattresses, people are ringing up going, I broke my mattress. It's like, why is this happening? Because of Michael Bolton. So he wants to go and kill Michael Bolton. So the whole thing, honestly, is absolutely fantastic. But the one thing that I came away from that Valentine's Day special, look at this, the most romantic time of the year. I'm talking about Michael Bolton lovingly. Not once mention me partner or anyone else. No, it's Michael Bolton. But at the end of it, I thought to myself, you know what? And I was talking to one of my best mates about this, and we both agreed, for all that crap music in the 90s and the late 80s, he's forgiven. Now Michael Bolton, to me, is an absolute hero because he's so funny. And it's had that much of effect on me, this Michael Bolton, this change in Michael Bolton's persona, that I've started listening to Michael Bolton.
No, Bec,
I'm not messing. Right, before I came here this morning, right, as we talk, it's first thing on a Saturday morning. I know it's probably, it could be any day when you listen to this right now, but this will be going out on Monday. When I was in the gym this morning, I had Michael Bolton playing.
Get off. No. Seriously, please tell me it was on headphones done really quiet.
It was on headphones.
Really quiet.
But the thing is because I've got my iPhone, and when you go on that Apple Music, it's got a big picture, hasn't it? So, in fact, I think just to sort of add some proof to this, let me, obviously you can't see this, but, if you search Apple Music, in fact, I'm not even going to show you what the ones I was listening to this morning.
That's probably a wise move, to be perfectly honest.
I was having a very camp morning in the gym today.
Makes a change.
Do you want me to tell you one of them?
Yeah, go on.
I listened to a bit of Donna Summer as well this morning.
Were you wearing sequin top pants on the treadmill?
No, that's only on a Tuesday when I go to spin class.
Do you not find the sequins chafe?
So a big picture of Michael Bolton comes up, his cheesy grin on the screen. So there's people on the treadmill next to me and I can see them looking over. And it's either they've caught a glimpse of Michael Bolton's face or they can hear the dulcet tones of him singing Time, Love and Tenderness. Now again, I don't know whether or not this is just this TV show and seeing him being a funny guy, but I even think his music's quite good now.
Oh wow!
Oh come on, Time, Love and Tenderness.
Wow!
How am I supposed to live without you? That was another one that I was.
That was like he was in the room.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? I need to go on tour, don't I? But yeah, I'm listening to Michael Bolton in the gym. I've got a whole new perspective on the god that is Michael Bolton. But honestly, if you've not checked it out yet, it's like the great thing with Netflix with it being on demand. I don't know how long it's going to stay on there for, but just go on, search Michael Bolton's Big Sexy Valentine's Day Special. And you need to watch it all. You've only seen a bit of it. And we can have a chat about it next week. Honestly, you'll absolutely love it. Something else happened to me weird in the gym this week.
Really? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whilst wearing the sequin hot pants?
No, that was that's a norm. They've come to accept that. And this is, I've been asking this question. I mentioned it to you briefly this morning as well. What the hell is like the Kardashians or a Jenner? What's a Jenner? What does that mean? Or,
do you know what? Yeah, you're asking the wrong person.
Are they models or? I
think two of them are models. And basically, from what I can gather, they just take their clothes off.
Well, one of them is Kyle Jenner. I think it's Kyle Jenner. She's one of the young ones or something. Anyway. Which I'm furious with her, by the way. So if you're listening right now, because I'm sure the Kardashians download this and listen to it in the house.
Why are you angry at them?
Because she's stolen my style.
What?
Right. Now, I like my t-shirts. I like wearing my t-shirts, especially in the gym. I think it'd be wrong to go in there in a suit, especially a three-piece suit. It wouldn't work. People have accepted the hot pants, but we need to, get physical and keep the sport theme. So anyway, I'll wear my t-shirts when I go there. But I like one of the common theme of my t-shirts is I buy wrestling t-shirts,
right?
Old school wrestling t-shirts. Now I've been walking around with this NWO, which is I won't start talking about wrestling. But anyway, it's like an NWO logo. So I've got all these t-shirts which say NWO on. Now in 1996 that was dead cool. I still think it was.
Okay.
I'll show you pictures if you want of me in 1996 wearing the same shirt. No, so it was a big thing, but I still buy them. I think retro's cool looking back. So I've got all these different shirts with NWO on. So I'm sat in the gym and I'm doing my workouts and doing the
Never seen you look so manly, Jeff.
That's what I do when I lift weights or when I do push-ups or sit-ups. I go. So I'm sat there and I could see some girl looking in the corner of my eye. I could see her looking over and I thought, here we go, baby. Do you want to come dance with the nature boy? So I'm like, she's checking me out there. I was thinking, what? For a 36-year-old man, I'm thinking this is quite good. Like, this girl in her early 20s. So she's looking over at me more and more, and I'm sat there. I'm not listening to Michael Bolton, by the way, at this stage. I don't know what I've got on. And I can see her coming over towards me, and I thought, hey, here we go. She wants 2 tickets to the gun show.
Oh, wow.
And I've got a front row pass, ready to hand out, VIP. So she comes over to me and she goes, excuse me. And I take the headphones off and go, yeah, what can I do for you? She says, where'd you get that t-shirt from? Because I've got one of these NWO t-shirts. Yeah. I'm thinking that's a weird question. Like, if she looked in her early 20s, she probably wasn't even born when this thing was coming, when these things were out. Got it online. I said, why? She said, because it's one of them shirts they wear, isn't it? And I thought, why would she know about Hulk Hogan and Scott Hall and all these people? I went, who wear? She went, the Kyle Jenner, she's been wearing it. A red one. Can you get a red one in it? I'm like, Kyle Jenner? What Kyle? And if I was a single man at this point, like, I now look like an 80-year-old man confused. I'm going, a what? A Kyle? Who's Kyle Jenner? One of the Kardashians. I'm going, I don't know. Well, told her where to get it anyway. So I'm thinking, that's a bit strange. Surely she's got confused. As soon as I get out of the gym, I go online, check on Google straight away. This girl started wearing the exact same shirts that I wear. Something that I've been wearing since the 90s, which I thought was looking quite unique. I'm now being accused of ripping off the Kardashians. I don't even know who the blooming Kardashians and Jenners are.
Let's face it, though, it's probably the only time you're going to be cool.
So yeah, you damn American kids or whatever your blooming job is, whatever you do, stop wearing my t-shirts. What you should be concentrating over there on is blooming Donald Trump sorting him out. Tell you what, one thing with it. What are your thoughts on Donald Trump, by the way? By the week, this whole situation just gets weirder and weirder.
I don't know what I feel about it. I actually think he never meant to be president. I think he did it as a joke, and now every morning he wakes up going, I've got to do it.
I listened to people say he's a shock jock, but a guy over in the States called Howard Stern, who you may know had a film out called Private Parts in the 90s.
Brilliant
but one of the greatest broadcasters of all time. Absolutely love Howard Stern. But he is was big friends with Donald Trump. Their friendship sort of ended when a lot of the tapes of Donald Trump talking on Howard Stern came out and didn't portray Donald Trump in the best of lights in the build-up to the election. But he was talking about him a couple of weeks ago, and the first time they'd spoken about him since he got into the White House, and he said the exact same thing. He honestly thought the reason that he got into this race was to try and get more money out of NBC, to get a bigger payday and get a bit of publicity. and it just sort of steamrolled and got out of control. And but the thing is with these outrageous comments along the way, the likes of I'm going to build a wall and I'm going to deport everyone, you're thinking they're surefire ways that are going to make people go, I'm not voting for this clown, he's a nutter.
Yeah.
You know, he's just saying it. If he were to become like some miracle president, does he go, look, I just said these things, I'm actually not that bad a guy, we're going to do things a sensible way? But he hasn't. He's still adamant he's going to do these things.
But I think that makes him possibly one of the most politicians around the whole world who's got the most integrity, because that's what he said he was going to do, and that's what he is going to do.
I mean, that wall alone's going to take him about 15 years to build. He's going to be dead by that point.
He's not building it, is he? The Mexicans are building it and paying for it.
Oh, I know. I mean, how the hell they're going to do that? I don't know if you've been watching any of the Saturday Night Live stuff. I mean, obviously, if you're over in the States, it's on network TV there, but the internet, you see it shared and stuff, the clips on Twitter, and you go on YouTube, search Saturday Night Live. Alec Baldwin's been doing a brilliant impersonation of Donald Trump, which has been riling Trump up big time. But one of the things the other week they were doing on Saturday Night Live was they were having Alec Baldwin as Donald Trump calling up various world leaders, pranking them. And one of the ideas, and I thought this is the only way they're going to get the Mexicans to pay for this wall. One of the things he did was they rung up Mexico pretending they'd won a holiday, and all he needed was their credit card details. The Mexican president's like, fuck off, Donald! Puts the phone down. But how is he going to make that work? How is he going to get it to happen? One thing that I've found with Donald Trump is, because I do care about politics, and I do get into it. I think it's just, he's turning America into North Korea. I don't want to start going serious on this show, by the way, so I'll just give you my viewpoint. I think he's an absolute lunatic. But one thing I've found myself becoming is the thing I hate, and I'm always telling people off for. I'm trolling Donald Trump on Twitter. I can't help myself. But for the first time in my life, I'm finding myself deleting tweets as well when I'm sending to Donald Trump. I'm actively trying to start a war with the leader of the free world.
Please don't, because it might well happen.
I think to myself, when I look back on some of the tweets that I send them, you know what, I'm so childish, I need to delete this. But then I go, hang on, he's the one who started this. Because his tweets are stuff like fake news and coming up with all these mad comments and mad things and mad sayings. So I'm just responding with something equally as blooming stupid. So why am I being the kid?
Because you're sat here talking into a pink microphone on a cardboard box and Donald Trump's in the White House.
Possibly, yeah. that could be the case. But yeah, I'm Donald Trump's troll. Can't believe I'm talking about the leader of the free world here, the President of the United States of America, and I'm using words and statements like, he started it.
He's a meanie.
But I tell you what, this alternative facts thing, this whole movement that he's beginning, what he's kicked off now with this fake news, and as I say, is Kellyanne Conway, who's the girl who works for them, they're alternative facts. God knows where this is going to end, because, I mean, if people start using this in real life, I mean, this is real life, by the way. It's not a film watching the president do this, but if people start using this in their own daily ways and their own daily routines, it's going to cause absolute chaos, because it's getting to a point now where if he can get away with it, why can't you? So you're going into work, if you're late, you go, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, you're all right, you're an hour late. No. You're saying it's 9 o'clock and I should have been at 8, but if you look at it an alternative way, I'm actually in at 7 o'clock. But it's 9 o'clock. Fake news. Fake comment.
I quite like it though. But I've got to admit,
he's doing this. You could incorporate this into everyday life. Go to the shop. Right, that'll be $5.99. I'm saying that you don't go shops, do you? We've already established that. That'll be $5.99 for that. Is it really? How about £2? No, it's $5.99. I think it's £2. Fake news. But yeah, it's another. I've got a feeling over the coming weeks and the coming months, I'm sure Donald Trump and some of the stuff that's going on over in the States is gonna feature quite heavily.
Oh, totally.
That's the great thing, the joys of doing podcasting, is that we've taken a short little break to have a nice little cuppa.
Do you know what?
Refreshed.
Can you make us sound a little bit more rock and roll and say like we've done a couple of shots of tequila or something?
Yeah, edit that bit out. Start again. So we took a short break there, and what me and Bec did was we drank a bottle of tequila. So if our words sound a little bit slurred right now, it's because of that. I think one thing, actually, because we've got loads of plans of what we're going to do as we move along with the show. One idea which I really, really want to do is, and I used to be so sceptical when I was in radio full time, the real world of radio. Remember that when we used to work in radio, Bec?
When we got paid for it.
Yeah, when we got paid and we didn't broadcast from a cardboard box in a room.
I don't know, I have plenty of stations where it's like this.
Yeah. But I used to always be sceptical when they'd say, we want you to take the show on the road. We want you to go and broadcast from somewhere. Because some of the OBs I've done over the years, by the way, OB stands for outside broadcast for people who aren't in the know. Look at me talking all technical.
Get that jargon in.
But some of the OBs that I've had to do over the years were just... I remember once going to the foyer, I think, of like the Holiday Inn down in Aylesbury in Buckinghamshire. This was like 2001. And the whole reason we did the breakfast show from there was for the launch of the new American breakfast on their menu. So imagine me that, the people of Buckinghamshire, that, a really affluent, nice area, they had to listen to some scout git the whole morning talk about how great the new American breakfast is at the Holiday. What relevance is that to you? You know what I mean? You're waking up, going to work, you've got to get the kids ready. But hey, here's some stories about the great American breakfast at the Holiday Inn on the 841 or whatever it was.
I've done two that stand out for me. One of them was in Prenton on the Wirral in a hot tub outside Sainsbury's at breakfast.
Come on, you're going to have to,
6 o'clock in the morning.
to explain this one.
I can't even remember why, but me and the guy I was doing the show with were sent there. So 6 o'clock, it was only spring, so it wasn't like it was warm.
Yeah.
And they put a hot tub outside Sainsbury's and we did a whole show. And Paul kept inviting people to get in it, and this girl came along who was like a bit of a stalker.
Yeah.
And she took her clothes off and got in her bra and knickers, and it wasn't necessarily the kind of girl you'd want to see in her bra and knickers.
I tell you what, Sainsbury's are going to be made this today, aren't they? They're going to be thinking, great, we've got some guy who didn't realise we delivered shopping, who's talked about that on this podcast, and now there's another one on here talking about some half-naked fatty getting in a bathtub outside one of our stores many, many years ago.
Yeah. And the other one was for, it was an Orange Festival, not like the Irish Orange Festival, but an Orange Festival in Darlington, and we had to do a roadshow type thing in a graveyard.
Right.
I still don't. I just remember looking up from the stage, and I had one of the guys who were high up in Orange bouncing across the stage on a space hopper while my auntie watched leaning on a gravestone. I
think what we'll have to do is we'll have to have one show where we just discuss some of the weird and wonderful things from radio, because that's just jogged my memory about the time when I was doing one of these broadcasts from outside the job centre, publicising the job centre, because that's what people want to hear on the radio, someone talking about the job centre. And during this publicising of the job centre, I was accosted by an angry member of the public. Well, I thought it was an angry member of the public, but it turned out to be someone from the local funeral directors who was accusing me of disrespecting the dead.
Oh.
But that's a story for another day. We need to do a special on that
Definitely.
one. I think that's what we will do. We'll cover a lot of the funny and random and wonderful stories from our time in the world of radio. But one of the things I was trying to get to then was, I think we should take this show on the road to a pub. So we'll take this equipment from the cardboard box, we'll put it on a bar, and we'll sit there and we'll have a chat, we'll have a load of drinks, and we'll get a few of the locals involved as well.
Brilliant.
Hey, nothing better than that.
That's award-winning.
Yeah, that is. What are the awards for podcasts? I was going to say it's Sony award-winning. I don't even think the Sony awards still go these days.
We'll make an award.
Whatever the award is in the world of podcasting, for us going to a pub, getting drunk, and just recording anything and everything whilst talking about our radio careers, that's definitely a winner. Hey, talking about looking back, I don't know if you, obviously you're on Facebook, but do you use that feature at all? I think some people have it as time hop, or you see it from time to time.
Yeah.
I've got it on mine as on this day, where you can look back and see what you were doing on that very day.
The
on
mistakes
Facebook
you
history.
made.
Oh my God. I honestly didn't realise, because the thing that winds me up the most is when I see people misspelling stuff, and not that I'm great when it comes to punctuation and grammar, but I'll have a go and I'll make sure it at least looks presentable. Some of the stuff I was putting on there, well, I don't even know what planet I was on. And the other thing I've noticed as well is, from I would say around about 2008 to about 2011, I was a raging alcoholic. All I am doing is talking about booze. I'm going to go out tonight, I'm going to be doing this, got a bottle of wine, got 8 cans of lager.
That's what mine's going to be like in 5 years' time for now.
Yeah, from time to time there'll be something I'll go, oh, I remember that. But a lot of the time, I'd say 90% of it is either an inappropriate joke about me talking about what celebrities could take a punch. That's, again, a whole nother podcast we'll get onto. It's me talking about booze, or it'll be some random celebrity encounter. Because one thing I noticed this week was it was 7 years to the day that I'd spent an afternoon in a hotel room with Jedward. Now,
They've been around for 7 years.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest shock. For one, I was thinking, I spent a whole day in a hotel room with Jedward. But then I thought to myself, hang on, that was the year 2010. It's the year 2007. They're still relevant now. How the heck has that happened? How? Because they've just come off Celebrity Big Brother, haven't they?
Weren't they runner-up as well or something?
I know they were on it. They probably were. And they've still got a fan base. It's like, what's the world coming to? Because if I remember correctly, they were just the joke, weren't they, on the X Factor?
Yeah.
Here they go, this year's novelty act.
Louise, comedy act.
Yeah, they'll be gone. Give them a couple of months, they'll be on the X Factor tour and they'll be gone. But yeah, out of that whole tour or that whole series, I can't think of anyone. Because I remember that day when I went to meet them, they were in I think it was the Radisson, one of the hotels anyway on the waterfront of Liverpool, and they were about to play the X Factor gig, when they do that tour afterwards. So I remember meeting all these, and the only thing I'd watch X Factor for that year was for Jedward, to talk about them on the radio show. So I was mingling with them all, talking to all the various people who were on it. I can't remember any of them, but I remember them two spiky-haired freaks.
Don't diss them.
Oh yeah,
I love Jedward.
The Jedward army will be after me now.
They will. They're proper ripped as well now. They're buff.
What?
They're buff. I'll find pictures and I'll send you them.
So you're telling me that Jedward get up in the morning and go in the gym, listen to Michael Bolton as well?
Yes, I believe they do. They are so ripped.
And they're offering tickets to the gun show. But I was looking back on it, because one thing I do remember about it, and in fact, actually, what we'll do is we'll close the show. I'll play a little bit. Most random interview I think I've ever encountered in my life.
So how was the reaction to you guys last night? Because I have to admit, to be totally honest, you guys remind me of Marmite. People either love you or hate you.
I know, it's crazy. I think everyone went crazy last night. It's kind of weird because before the whole show started, we had no clue what Marmite was. And then this morning, I remember we went to the breakfast and we came one-on-one with Marmite. We're like, oh my God, this is it. And then John tasted it and he didn't like it. So one of our fans on Twitter, we have a Twitter, it's at Planet Jedward. They tweet us do you like Marmite? I don't think we do like Marmite. We never really got into the whole Marmite thing. It's kind of weird. It's a real process or something.
Hey, you know what? That could be a good endorsement for you guys if you could get into Marmite. I'm sure they got a lot of money.
I haven't really tasted it really, but oh yeah, we love it. The advert.
I should have bought some with me, shouldn't I? John and Edward, do Marmite.
I know, yeah, okay, but it's so much fun being in Liverpool because it's a real nice place and it's cool that we're coming here for 2 days for the X Factor tour, but we can't wait to come back ourselves and do more shows because our fans are always come back to Liverpool, and now we're back for it's kind of weird. It's a really cool city because I never knew because all the buildings and everything look really, really cool.
Now, a lot of people, when they do come to Liverpool to perform here, there's always a big influence when it comes to the Beatles. A lot of people who are really excited because it's the home of the Beatles. What about you guys when it comes to influences?
We should do a Beatles medley or something
You should have,
yeah. Yeah, so we'll think about that. We'll do Love Me Do, I Want to Hold Your Hand. And if they hold our hand, then we'll be successful. But it's so crazy because Paul McCartney's from here and everything. It's kind of cool that we met him in the X Factor and he's such a nice guy and he's from Liverpool. And it's kind of cool. Think about it. He could have been walking here.
He could be walking outside right now.
He's not walking right now because he's on tour right now at the moment. And it was when we met him, he was he's a real nice guy, and we got loads of autographs off him. And I think how big he is from the Beatles, and he was talking to us.
Well, hey, you've done Vanilla Rice, haven't you? You've done a duet with him. What about Macca next? What Beatles song would it be if you could do one?
With Love from Me to You.
Now, your website when it launches is going to be called Planet Jedward, and I was thinking about this today. It's online now?
www.planetjedward.net, and then our Twitter is Planet Jedward, and our YouTube's Planet Jedward, and then everything's Planet Jedward because it's like a planet.
Well, that's what I was thinking. If there was a planet called Jedward, what would it be like to live on? What would be happening?
I think me and her should go searching for a planet in space and go buy a planet and name
You can do that.
And yeah, I'd like to buy my own island.
Planet, island, or Island Jedward?
But it could be just a totally Island Jedward, a new planet.
Okay, so Planet Jedward, if there was a Planet Jedward, what would life be like on there?
I think it'd be a lot of fun because I think that it's not an actual planet. It's just a lifestyle choice, being cool, wearing high tops, being different. Not because lots of our fans are they have the I Love Jedward t-shirt. It's this classic kind of vintage t-shirt that everyone wears. I'm an I Love Jedward t-shirt, and everyone's I don't like Jedward. And then everyone's they all come together as friends.
Okay, so what's next then? An album is in the pipeline, I'm guessing.
Next, the pipeline. We're plumbers.
Jedward Plumbers, there you go. There's another sideline for you.
So weird. Okay, our hotel room, the sink got blocked, and the toilet. That's when we were staying. That's what was it? And we fixed it with our tour manager Anto. Yeah.
Sounds interesting. Thanks for coming on the show this morning, guys.
Oh my God, we should have made our video 3D. Okay, yeah. Thanks for letting us on the show.
I think we've rambled enough so far this week, and obviously the show is called Chasing 40, so we don't want to be hypocrites and go over the 40-minute mark. So make sure you check us out on the... I don't even know where you're going to be listening to this right now. And by the way, when I say that, I'm not trying to be a smart arse. You're sitting in your house somewhere or you're on the bus. I mean, on what platform? You can check us out on SoundCloud. You can check us out on YouTube as well. If you go to Channel 29, you'll find a link on there. And also we'll be on iTunes as well. So if you do find us or you are listening on iTunes, make sure you give us a little review. Do the subscribe thing, and then what happens is it drops down. But check us out as well on Twitter. You can find me at 29Nolan. You can also check out some information on the show at 20_29_9. There'll be loads of little bits and bobs about the show on there, so you can find information.
Do you want to make that any harder?
I know, there's too many ways to get in touch. In the old days, it used to just be, give us a call, or at best, text me on 67 whatever. So many ways, but anyway, if you check wherever you listen right now in the description, you'll find full details on how you can contact us, where you can find us, and what you want to do. So if you want to send us hate mail, praise, whatever, you do it.
Let's get a hashtag as well. Hashtag Chasing40.
Hashtag Chasing40. We'll go with that one. What about yourself, Bec? How can they find you?
Well, you know what?
Apart from Tinder.
You know what my flat looks like, so you can probably find that quite easily on Google Earth.
I'm sure there's someone who's probably hearing this in some of the other flats all walking past outside going, hang on, that's where they were. That's what that was all about.
Twitter is at Bec, BEC_sunflower.
Have yourself a great week, and we will catch up with you next week as we once again chase 40. Take care.